Hello, Kumo. What's up? Hello, Kumo. Kumo, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Oh, thank you. I was worried about the
Pleasure.
sound. Yeah, I was worried about the
It's
sound.
fine.
Okay. So I'm waiting for other. Dr. Bobby hasn't joined us yet. He's busy asking
So I'm the
when.
only one so far.
You're the only one so far. Dr. Bobby is busy asking. He hasn't joined the classes yet.
Oh, okay.
Sihle's here. Hi, Sihle.
Yo. Ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Sihle. Is that Sihle? Oh,
No, ma'am, it's me.
saying man. Huh? Who's saying man?
It's me, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm asking when is the reassessment?
I'm not sure. I must check the dates. I'll send it. I'll send the dates. But I think last week I sent a wrong test. Test schedule? But then on that schedule, there's a test. The same test date we were supposed to follow. It's just that with you guys, because we started late, we'll write later after they hold. So they are writing
Okay.
today. They are writing Excel
Okay.
today, so we will be writing Excel next week Monday instead.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so today we started on Excel.
Ma'am.
Then you make sure your skills for Excel.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Babi.
Uh, are the marks out yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
I also
so
had to
when?
have a
So
weekend.
sad.
I also had to have a weekend. So I'm starting to mark today.
Okay, ma'am. So when is the latest that we
And
can
this
expect
morning
the
I
marks?
had a test with the semester one students.
Oh,
Not semester one, but ICT school students.
okay, ma'am.
Is there anything else from you guys? So far, you sharp.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It's just the test marks. Anxious about the test marks.
Yes, because you, ma'am, it was complicated.
Yeah, the test was. So, ma'am.
So the six of us. It's all we can cater for in the studio. Okay. I'm going to share the screen now. We're starting with Excel, and I'm hoping that your Excel skills were sharp enough for us to continue. because in Excel you are able to add, calculate, manipulate your numbers. Okay, let me see. So I have a challenge here. My mic cannot attach to my head. I have to hold it tight. Okay, imagine the cell A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 is still the same. I'm going to look at software sales.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
must we also write that information?
Some of you watch from your phones. I'm not sure. Are you using your computers now?
I'm using my computer to type, but I'm watching through my phone.
Okay, let's just watch for now because this exercise, I'm just going back to the basics.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, from your basics, you were able to add using sum.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to get the totals here, before we get the totals, let me just get the headings.
Okay.
So if you needed a heading January, February, remember we could use the fill handle. So at January, I click and drag, then I have February to
Mm.
March. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the totals, for us to add, we will say, okay, auto sum. Then Excel will automatically write the function name and get the range of cells that we get in the total for, and press enter and get the results. This is um, and I'm working with quarterly sales. Say this is quarter one, sales quarter one. So I'll rename this to Q1 for quarter two. But if I go to Q1, hold my control key and select Q2 and key 3. Take note, they are now white, all of them. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I type Jan, I'm retyping it. I'm typing
Mm-hmm.
Jan, and I copy to March. Okay, and
Mhm.
I just retype the figures. Don't worry about the amount. Now, when you go to sheet 2, look, the same things that I typed are here.
Oh,
You see that? So you
yes,
can
ma'am.
type right through all the sheets if your data is the same and if your data needs to go to the same position. Okay? So I'm going to go
Ma'am,
ahead and yes.
did you copy and paste
Ah,
the?
check. Look at Q2. I don't have total here, ne?
Uh huh.
And Q3, I don't have total there. Do you see that?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going back to Q1 and I
Mhm.
hold down my on the keyboard. I hold down the control key.
Mhm.
Then with the mouse, I select Q1 is already selected, so I select Q2 and Q3, right? And then I
Mhm.
retype total in Q1,
Mhm.
okay? And I retype software sales in the heading.
Mhm.
Okay, now before I retype software sales, I must just undo the merge cells,
Okay.
then merge, first merge, then retype software sales. Okay.
Ma'am, can I ask,
Yeah.
do you record your sessions?
This one because we are live, we are on YouTube, so the session is being recorded live on YouTube.
Okay, and the others are also on YouTube.
I do have some of them on YouTube, but it's not all of them that were recorded.
Okay, ma'am.
So we have now we have software sales retyped. Now because I've selected Q1, Q2, and Q3. What I type on Q1 is also typed on Q2 and Q3. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm going back to Q1. I'm going to remove the totals. Okay. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
now when we want to add all of them, I'm going to open a new sheet. And on this sheet, I'll quickly just want to copy what is here now. All what we
Mhm.
have, I copy and then I go to the new sheet. Now take note of the new sheet. On the position of your or where you were, the sheet goes just after the sheet that you were busy with. So I'm going to the new sheet 4 and I paste. Okay. And
Yes,
another
ma'am.
thing that I'm going to do is to move. I want to move sheet 4 just after Q3. And to do that, I pointed it, click and drag it after Q3. Then the sheet is moved there. And I'll call this summary. Now, in the summary sheet, that's where I'm going to calculate the totals. Are you still watching? Now, check. I'm going to type the equal sign, Then holding down my shift key, and this time I first go to Q1, and at Q1, I haven't calculated the total, so let me leave the summary as it. So at Q1, let's first calculate the total. It's auto sum, enter, and I take all the totals, right? And then in Q2 we can do the same, get the totals. But if you want the total, if you want the quarter one, quarter two, quarter three totals, this is what we'll do. We'll go to the summary sheet, and at the summary sheet, if I have those totals, I haven't got the totals as yet. So I'm first going to add them. Fine. Then in the summary sheet, if I want the quarter totals, then I type equal sign, then I type this function sum, then open bracket, then I go to the quarter one, I select the first total, then I hold down the shift key, I go to Q3, you see they're all selected, then I press enter. So all the totals for the three quarters are added in here. We can do the same for these as well. It means we can add all these. You can just go ahead and look at the formula. It shows the sheet name Q1 up to Q3. The cell that is added is B3. So I can just copy the formula. And we can do the same for the January for C sharp. We type equal sign, we type the function sum, and then we go to Q1. We first go to the sheet, the second row, and you hold down the shift key and go to the last sheet. So do you see what is happening? Let me press enter to get the result. So what happened here is that January's C sharp amount from Q1 and January C sharp amount from Q2 and February C sharp amount for Q3, they were added. So in here I've got all of them added here, and I copy the formula. So these are my quarterly. These are my quarterly now. These are my quarterly. These are my. I can call them what after if after 3/4, I will say these are my 3/4 software sales totals. Okay. So I've used the consolidation formula to add all of them. So from this lesson, Guys, will you be able to share your screen so that we can see what you're doing? Dr. Lwabi,
Ma'am?
are you able to share your screen from your side?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But then you're trying this out, hey?
Yes, I'm trying out, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Any challenges so far?
Ma'am,
Guys, I'm now going to continue to do the name ranges if you're done. Dr. Lobby, are you done? Is everyone done? Now, doing the name ranges, because this session has been recorded, you will be able to continue checking with your exercise. So, to go ahead and now just do the name ranges. There's someone who wanted to connect, but it was down there. Guys, the studio is limited to 6 people, so more than that, it will take you out if you keep coming in and going out if you don't have a stable network. Okay, so everybody else can join on YouTube live. We are live now on YouTube, guys. So now continuing with this, we're going to now do the name ranges. We're going to name the range. Okay. Giving this range a name. Now we can name it across or down the column. So I'm going to name the range down the column. So far, I don't have any indication that, ma'am. Let's go on. Where are you guys? Hello, Dr. Loabi and everyone. You are okay so far?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't get the challenges with the consolidation. So far, so
Mm,
good. You can now consolidate. You can now type between sheets.
not really, but we'll practice, ma'am.
You'll practice
Yes, ma'am.
because with consolidating, finally, the last command to consolidate is when we are here at data. You see, we've got
Mhm.
the consolidate tool again.
Mhm.
It means when you are working with more than one sheet, you may have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and you want to consolidate the amount into the one, the maybe a newer sheet.
Uh huh.
So you need to be able to open all the sheets, then consolidate. But now this one that I'm demonstrating here, you won't be able to do because I needed to send you files before you can do it.
Mhm.
Okay, so I must go to my downloads and get the files.
Okay, ma'am.
What did I do now? Okay, here I'll have to open my whole screen so that you see everything. The computer is hanged now. So just quickly need to go to the text manager and stop this. Check now. I'm going to go ahead and select open the expenses 1, 2, and 3 for quarter 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure why it's not opening. File extension problem. And what is that? Okay, the version I'm using here is the older one, and my computer is not here, so I cannot open this. Yes. Okay, there. It's open. Thank you. Almost gave up. Okay, now I'll open only 2 sheets. Now check to open to see all of them. You click View menu, then you click Arrange All, and you tile, and then they all appear. Okay, and then now your sheets must have the same look, same work. I'm not sure what I did there. God. Control Z to undo whatever I did. Okay, you can see I've got quarter 2, quarter 3, I think quarter 1 is there. But now I'm going to go to a new sheet where I want the summary to be added. Okay, I'll just go to this sheet, but I should just remember. Okay, now in this sheet, I'll just, to get the same format, I'll copy the format, start a new sheet, and paste. Now check with this format, I'll just delete the answer. I just want to just demonstrate. Calculate sheet 1 and sheet 2 by going to data, use the consolidate tool. Now when you consolidate here, you first select the function that you want to use. If you want to add them, you select the sum. If you want to get the average, you go and use the average function, max or min. So I'm going to use sum, and using sum, I just want to Okay, let me just go do it. It's sum, then I get the first reference. Go to that sheet, get my data up to here. Okay. And I click add. Then I go to the next sheet, which is this one. I go and select this. Then after selecting, you click add. So the sheet can be 4 or 5. When we're done with the selection, you just go ahead and click OK. Then all the totals you can check. 224 plus 220, it is 444. Do you see that? So it consolidates, it adds up all the sheets and it puts them into one sheet. That is consolidating the worksheets. Okay. So this is your extra that I was teaching. Just go to the auto sum and Excel, type the function name. Now, for advanced, okay, we name it Kum. Okay, it means if I didn't rename the sheet name, so here it will be the sheet name, then the range starting from the first cell address till the last cell address. Then you just click OK. So this range is named Kumo, and then the next range, it will be named Sihle. Let's just go up to test 3. Okay, we go ahead to and go to formulas and click define, and the range name is, if it's correct, and the range is correct, you click OK. Then the range is named. The next name range is Dr. Lwabi. We go ahead and add it. My assumption is that it's correct, with even the range is correct. That's why I just click OK after defining it. Now the ranges are defined. Okay. Now and also have the name range test 3. And because when I'm done with the final mark, I also want to know who's the highest student. So I'm going to name the range final mark. Okay. Now using name ranges now to get the average of the class. This is how we do it. Type the name of the range, which is test 1. I close the bracket and press enter. That's the purpose of naming your ranges. Do you see that? So for test 2, if I want the average of test 2, I just type equal sign average and we put the name of the range test 2. Then we get, no, oh, my mouse is going everywhere. It's equal sign is the name of the function. In brackets is the name of the range test 2. And you see it already automatically prompts it because I named the range. So the first thing that you do is you name your ranges and use the name ranges. So the next range name is test 3. So the name, firstly the function name, average, then in brackets the name of the range test 3. And no, something went wrong there. I'm not sure what. Everything seemed okay in front of my eyes. I'll have to redo it. So it's equal sign, the name of the function, average. Then I select, isn't this for test 3 now? Test 3. Yes, it's test 3. It's like this. Close bracket and enter. It's easy to pick it there. If you made a mistake, it will correct you. The average now of the final mark. So I type my final mark, the name of the range, final mark, and I close the bracket and enter. So in the exam, guys, what will be asked in the exam? We know that you've done ICT skills semester 1 and you were able to calculate using B3 to B7, but I'm looking for the name of the range. when I'm marking, I'll be checking if the name ranges have been defined, and you in the formulas you have used those name ranges. You get it? So this is what I want to see in the formula. So if this is mean, I'm checking if you did get the mean of this range test 1 using the name range, and close bracket. And if you copy using the name range, you see it doesn't change the name of the range. So I must go ahead and change the name to name range test 2. But it's easier if you pick it, because if the name is not correct, it must be corrected. So the name range to be used here is test 3. And the name range to be used here is final mark instead of tests. Okay. And then for max, you do the same. So for max, we go ahead and you can type the function, or you just pick it, the function. Doesn't matter, guys. So here we're looking for max, but we're not typing the range, but we type in the name range. Test 1. And here we're also doing the same. Okay, I'll just copy the formula, but the results are not correct. I'll correct them by putting the correct name range. This is for test 2, and this is for test 3. And this is for final mark. Okay. And then the next one, okay, I wanted to use average here, but now calculating individual averages. For Kamo average, it means we'll go ahead and equal sign average and use the name range Kamo and close bracket. And then the next one, we go ahead and find the average for Sihle. Your test, your moderation, ma'am. Your moderation. I don't remember where I placed it, but it's somewhere in my house. Oh, you brought some papers here? Okay, no, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, she told me about that. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Now this is the name range Caroline. This one is quite a tedious process, but that was using the name ranges. So if you can do that, I think that was a lesson for today, guys. You must now go to your blackboard, and on your blackboard there are exercises where you'll be using the name and but you want to check if you have passed, if it's a pass or a fail. Okay. Now using the if statement here, it's a logical function. If you use if, and with the if statement, we're checking if the average mark for this student is greater than 50. Now, if it is greater than 50, it means it is a pass. But if it's not, it's the opposite of pass. So now in Excel, we're going to go ahead and now go to further complicated or complex functions of using the AND or the combination of the AND function to test if a condition is true or not and give the results as well. So now for today, I think that's it for today. So go to a blackboard to do the exercises based on the name ranges, because the consolidation exercise you won't find, but go and do your name range exercise, and then in the next class we'll do the further condition statement, and we'll also do conditional formatting together, guys. Thank you for attending, and I think this evening I'll be busy with the marking of your test. Any questions from you before you leave?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. And the name range seem to be quite easy to use. Your if statement, the if statement, this is an easier if statement. Before you leave, I just want to show you a practical example where an if statement can be used. Where but we may have overtime pay. You can say pay is pay. Why do I have overtime pay and pay? Because people are working different hours. So if you have worked overtime, you want to calculate overtime. And if you have worked normal, we want to calculate normal pay. So if the overtime rate is 1,000 rand, right? So if I am to calculate pay, I'll say equal sign the number of hours you worked, we multiply them by the rate, and we enter the formula. But now check the formula. In the formula, B2 is in this address. We want to fix it, right? And we enter the formula and we copy the formula. Do you see that this one is not a solution for calculating everyone's salary, because the last person worked 52 hours. You can't take his normal hours and multiply them by 100. You see that? We must separate the normal hours from the overtime hours. So an if statement here becomes a relevant statement to now dissect the normal hours from the first one is the if, okay? And then the if, in the if function, we check the number of hours if there are uh, the number of hours worked. If it's not greater than 40, it means it's less, or it's equals to 40. So we're taking the number of hours the person worked, we multiply by the normal rate. Fix the address. And we enter and copy the formula. Okay? But now for overtime, we'll still check the same. We'll go to the if statement and we check if the number of hours worked here, are they greater than 40? Now this time, if they are greater, it means it's overtime, right? So we calculate the overtime. So we open the bracket, we take the number of hours the person has worked, we subtract that by 40. Now the difference is the one that we multiply by the overtime rate. And we make sure that we fix the address so that when you copy the formula doesn't change. But the person, if he didn't work over above 40, it means it's just normal hours. So we don't pay overtime there. And we click OK and copy the formula. There. You see, the minute this person works 42 hours, the 2 hours is extra and he starts calculating overtime. If this one works 41 hours, see, the 1 hour is overtime, there is 1,000 rand extra coming home. So then end up calculating total pay. And if you have name ranges and we have their names, okay. Now the name ranges, if you name them now, we're starting again and we go ahead and go to formula, define the name, the range if it's correct, you just add. Now don't want to go up to E, but it must only go up to D. So we'll cancel. Just make sure that I've selected the correct range. Define it, click OK. Define the next name range. My mouse is holding me. I thought it's only Mpumalanga that has got this problem. So you define it, but you didn't type the name, you see. Now I must just type Kamu. That's the name of this range. And click OK. I'm not sure why. Oh, Kamu already exists, Cancer. So I'm doing Caroline now. And then, does Caroline already exist? Does Caroline already exist? Okay, I'll go ahead and say Caroline 1, Cancer. Let me say Kamu 1. And define it. Then it adds it. Caroline 1. Then it adds it. It will depend, Dr. Lwabi. If you exist as well, I'll have to rename. Okay. Dr. Lwabi 1.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
you spelled my name wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who's that? Caroline.
It's Kumo.
Oh, Kumo. My grandson is Kumo. I can't misspell Kumo. It's average, max, mean. Now we also, Kumo, I'm going to rename it, but then it's going to change my name range. Can I please leave it for now? Okay, I'm defining now the number of hours range. Then I define the normal pay range. And I also define the overtime range. We also define the total pay range. So as you're calculating, it will be equal sign, average of number of hours. So we select the name range and close the bracket. And when we get the max, it's equals to max and the max of number of hours as well. And we do the same for the mean, and is the mean of number of hours. My number of hours is not appearing here. Okay. So if I copy this, I'll just correct the name ranges. So here it's for normal pay, not number of hours. This is for normal pay. And this is for overtime. Okay. And that's it. So for mean, for max, check. I'm only doing this because I just want to rename the name of the function. Now this is for max. Now this is for mean instead. And it's the same for here. This is max. And this is mean. So if you want sum, we equal sign, function name, open bracket. The name range here is Kumo. Oh, Kumo is KHO. Oh man, my grandson. Okay. Oh, that's why it accepted it. The other one, it already knows it. And for Kamu, some. Now this is now Kamu 1. And then for Caroline, now for Caroline, I didn't put the function name. That's why it gives that answer. So it's supposed to be equal sign, the function name first, open bracket in bracket, Caroline. So in the same sheet, you cannot use the different name range. You can use the same. You can't use the same name range for different purposes. You see that? Because Caroline, Kamu, Caroline, and Dr. Lwabi, it's for the test marks. So if I use that name range, it will invoke the test marks. Hence, I had to rename this to 111. Okay. So for Caroline, some open bracket and the range name. Oh no, this is for Dr. Lwabi. And I use the 1 and close the bracket. So it's done. So now if you can do this, if you can do the name range thing, you have your marks, guys. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. It's now 1:30. And thank you for attending. And thank you in advance for doing your exercises so that you make it easier for your test that is coming next week, Monday. Okay? Notify others as well. Any questions? Happy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, is there anyone who needs the copy of this broadcast for today? Do
Ma'am,
I need?
I do.
Okay, I'll share it on the WhatsApp group then.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, guys. Bye bye for today. Enjoy the
Bye.
rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Dr. Lwabi, you okay? He probably is not. He probably doesn't even hear. I'm not sure if my sound is okay today. But the fact that you were answering Kumo, it means things are fine. Guys, bye bye.
Bye, ma'am.
So I'm leaving the studio now. Not saving this.